Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters in Christ, today I want to talk about the mighty power of the spoken word. For words are not merely sounds that pass through the air. They are spiritual seeds, carrying the force of faith, intention, and divine authority. The Bible tells us, death and life are in the power of the tongue. And when we speak in harmony with God's abundance, we align ourselves with His infinite supply. Too often, we speak lack, fear, and doubt into our lives without even realizing it, and then we wonder why our harvest is empty. But when we choose to declare words of prosperity, gratitude, and faith daily, the invisible begins to move, doors begin to open, and blessings rush toward us like a mighty river. Today, I will share with you 10 powerful sentences, simple yet spiritually charged, that, when spoken with unwavering belief, will call forth wealth, opportunity, and divine provision into your life. The law of prosperity begins with the law of speech, because every word we speak carries a vibration, a frequency, a creative energy that shapes the very substance of our lives. Long before a thing becomes visible in the outer world, it first exists in the invisible, in thought, in feeling, and in the words we declare. The scriptures say, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." This is not merely poetry, it is a divine revelation of how creation works. All things are spoken into being. In the same way, your financial life, your opportunities, your doors of abundance, are shaped and colored by the words you speak over them. When you understand that your tongue is a spiritual instrument of creation, you become careful and intentional with every sentence you utter. Too many people treat speech as casual conversation, not realizing that every statement is like a command sent out into the universe, drawing to you the conditions you describe. If you speak of lack, you invite lack. If you constantly declare how difficult life is, you create more difficulties to match your words. This is why the law of prosperity begins here. Because before wealth can manifest, it must be spoken into motion. The spoken word is the key that unlocks the storehouses of supply. Even your prayers are not merely petitions. They are declarations of alignment with God's promises. When you pray for provision, you are not begging for something distant. You are affirming that the supply is already yours by divine right, and you are calling it into form through the power of your voice. The subconscious mind, which is the seat of your habits and beliefs, does not argue with the words you speak. It accepts them as truth and works day and night to make them real. This is why prosperity-minded people guard their speech carefully. They will not speak against their own good. They will not say, "I can't afford it," or "I'm always broke," because they know such words plant seeds of limitation. Instead, they speak the language of abundance. They say, "I always have more than enough," or "God is my instant and endless supply." Even if the outer appearance has not yet caught up with the declaration, they know that appearances change, but spiritual law is constant, and speech is the lever that moves it. It is not enough to think prosperity. You must speak it. Thinking shapes the inner world, but speaking crystallizes it into the outer world. Words are thought made audible, thought made tangible. They leave your lips and begin to arrange conditions, people, and events in your favor. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn taught affirmations as a spiritual practice. She understood that the right words, spoken repeatedly with faith, imprint the subconscious and shift the vibration of your entire being into harmony with abundance. When your vibration changes, the outer world must respond, because like attracts like. The law of speech in prosperity is also about consistency. You cannot speak abundance one day, and then cancel it the next with words of doubt and fear. The spiritual laws respond to the overall tone of your declarations, not just isolated moments of inspiration. This is why daily affirmations are so powerful. They keep your vibration steady and your words aligned with the supply you desire. Imagine a farmer planting seeds. If he plants wheat but returns the next day to dig it up and replace it with weeds, he will never have a harvest. In the same way, when you speak words of prosperity, you must let them take root by continuing to affirm abundance and refusing to speak lack. No matter what you see, your words also have an effect on the people and situations around you. When you speak with confidence about your prosperity, you inspire confidence in others. Opportunities are often drawn to those who speak, as if they already possess what they seek. People are naturally attracted to those who radiate certainty and faith. This is not arrogance, it is alignment with spiritual truth. When you say, "Everything I touch prospers and succeeds," you are not making a boast, you are making a declaration of your divine right to success, and that statement sets in motion unseen forces to make it so. The law of speech works hand in hand with the law of expectation. If you speak prosperity, but secretly expect failure, your words will be empty. But when your expectation and your speech are united, they become a creative force that nothing can resist. This is why it is essential to choose words that uplift your own spirit and build your inner faith. Speak them until you believe them. Speak them until they feel natural on your tongue. Speak them until the outer world has no choice but to match the inner certainty you have built. When you begin to live by the law of speech, you will notice subtle shifts at first. A small financial blessing here, an unexpected opportunity there. Do not dismiss these as coincidence. They are the early fruits of your new verbal planting. Keep watering them with words of gratitude and abundance. As you do, the manifestations will grow larger and more frequent. What once seemed impossible will become your new normal. For you will have trained your tongue to only speak in harmony with prosperity, and in doing so, you will have trained your entire life to obey the law of increase. Every declaration of abundance plants a seed in the fertile soil of the subconscious, because the mind is like a garden, and whatever is planted there will eventually grow into the visible experiences of life. The subconscious mind is always listening, always absorbing, and always acting upon the words and images it receives. It does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply takes the information you give it and works tirelessly to bring it into expression. This is why affirmations of wealth, prosperity, and plenty are so vital. Each time you speak them, you are planting a spiritual seed that will, in due season, bring forth a harvest. Consider how a physical seed works. When you plant a seed in the soil, you cannot see the roots forming beneath the surface, but you trust that something is happening. You water it, you protect it, and you continue to expect it to grow. In the same way, every spoken declaration of abundance is like planting a seed in the subconscious. At first, there may be no visible change in your circumstances, but beneath the surface of consciousness, new patterns are being formed, and new channels of supply are beginning to open. The key is to continue planting these seeds consistently and with faith, knowing that they will sprout at the right time. The subconscious mind responds to repetition and emotion. A single casual statement might not have much effect, but a statement repeated daily, with feeling and conviction, begins to take root deeply. The more you speak abundance with certainty, the more you impress that idea upon the inner mind. Over time, the subconscious begins to accept prosperity as your natural state, and it starts guiding your actions, decisions, and perceptions to match that belief. You may find yourself noticing opportunities you once overlooked, taking inspired action without hesitation, or attracting people and circumstances that support your financial growth. The beauty of planting seeds of abundance in the subconscious is that it bypasses the resistance of the conscious mind. The conscious mind may argue, doubt, or question how something will happen, but the subconscious does not concern itself with the how. It simply acts on the instructions it has been given. If you continually instruct it with words like, "I am prosperous," "I always have more than enough," or "money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways," it will go to work to bring those conditions into your life. The more vivid and joyful your declarations, the faster and more harmoniously the seeds will grow. Many people unknowingly plant seeds of lack and limitation instead of abundance. They say things like, "I can't afford this," "I'm always short on money," or nothing ever works out for me. These statements are also seeds, and the subconscious will faithfully grow them into corresponding experiences. Just as a farmer who plants weeds cannot expect to reap a harvest of wheat, a person who continually speaks words of lack cannot expect to live in abundance. The good news is that you can begin planting new seeds at any time. The moment you choose to replace negative declarations with positive, faith-filled ones, you begin to change the direction of your life. The subconscious mind also responds well to present, tense declarations. Saying, "I will be prosperous someday," keeps abundance in the future, always out of reach. But saying, "I am prosperous now," plants the seed of immediate possession, as if it is already true. This aligns you with the spiritual law that creation is finished, that all you desire already exists in the unseen, and is waiting for you to call it forth. By speaking as though it is already done, you signal your faith and readiness to receive. Gratitude is another powerful fertilizer for the seeds of abundance. When you declare your prosperity and follow it with words of thankfulness, you accelerate the growth of your affirmations. Gratitude shifts your focus to what you already have, and that vibration naturally attracts more of the same. Saying, "I am so thankful for the money that flows to me," combines the creative power of speech with the magnetic power of appreciation, making your declarations even more potent. It is also important to guard the garden of your mind against weeds, words of fear, doubt, and complaint. These can choke the seeds of abundance before they have time to grow. If you catch yourself speaking lack, stop and replace it immediately with an abundant declaration. Over time, this practice becomes automatic, and your natural way of speaking will align with prosperity consciousness. The more careful you are with your words, the more pure and powerful your mental garden will become. As the seeds of abundance take root, you may notice changes not only in your finances, but in your entire outlook on life. You will feel more confident, more expectant, and more open to receiving. The outer world will begin to reflect the inner changes you have cultivated. What once seemed impossible will feel inevitable because the subconscious has been reprogrammed to support your success. And just like a garden that produces fruit year after year, when cared for, the subconscious will continue to yield abundance as long as you keep planting and nurturing those positive, life-giving declarations. Faith-filled words align you with divine opportunities and unexpected channels of income because they are more than mere statements. They are spiritual commands backed by the power of belief. Faith is the invisible force that bridges the gap between what you desire and what you currently see. When you speak with faith, you are declaring not only with your mouth, but with your whole being that what you ask for is already on its way. These words act like a magnet, drawing to you the people, ideas, and circumstances that can carry you toward your desired financial reality. Without faith, words are hollow. With faith, they are living seeds charged with creative energy. Faith transforms speech from ordinary conversation into a tool of manifestation. The Bible says, "According to your faith be it unto you," meaning that the measure of your faith determines the measure of your results. When you speak wealth with unwavering conviction, you align yourself with the vibration of prosperity. That alignment is what allows you to be in the right place at the right time, to notice opportunities that others overlook, and to attract resources in ways that defy human logic. Faith-filled words do not depend on the evidence of the senses. They are spoken in the certainty that the unseen is more real than the seen, and that the unseen will soon take visible form. Opportunities often come in disguise. Without the lens of faith, you might pass them by, dismissing them as insignificant or unrelated to your goals. But when your words continually affirm that divine opportunities are seeking you, your mind becomes attuned to recognize them, no matter how subtly they appear. You might overhear a conversation that leads to a business connection, stumble upon a book that sparks a profitable idea, or feel an inner prompting to take an action that opens new financial doors. These are not accidents. They are the natural outworkings of the alignment your words have created. Faith-filled declarations also open channels of income you may never have considered. Many people limit themselves by assuming that money can only come through a salary or a specific business venture. But when you speak in faith, you remove those limitations and allow God to supply you through channels beyond your imagination. You may receive a gift, an inheritance, a sudden increase in the value of an investment, or a completely new stream of income you had not planned for. Faith-filled words tell the universe, I am ready and willing to receive in any way you choose to bless me. And that openness creates space for the miraculous. The energy of faith also changes the way others respond to you. People can sense when you carry certainty about your vision and your worth. This quiet confidence makes them more willing to trust you, invest in you, or collaborate with you. Faith has a way of inspiring others to see possibilities they might not have seen on their own. When you speak prosperity over your life and back it with faith, you are not only affirming it to yourself, but also radiating that belief outward, which attracts supportive people and favorable circumstances. To speak with faith, you must believe in the truth of your words before they manifest. This requires a willingness to reject appearances that contradict your declaration. If you say, money flows to me easily and constantly, but your bank account appears low, you do not allow that appearance to weaken your words. Instead, you continue to affirm the truth you desire until it becomes your reality. Faith does not deny the facts, it overrides them with higher truth. It says, I see the current situation, but I know the spiritual law is already working in my favor. The tone and feeling behind your words matter as much as the words themselves. A lukewarm declaration will not have the same power as one spoken with conviction. This is why faith-filled affirmations often include vivid language, emotion, and gratitude. Saying, I am so thankful that abundance is flowing to me now, carries more vibrational weight than saying, I hope more money comes soon. The first speaks from certainty and gratitude. The second speaks from doubt and lack. The practice of speaking faith-filled words is also a training of the mind. Each time you speak prosperity with conviction, you strengthen the neural pathways in your brain that support abundance thinking. Over time, this becomes your default mode of thought and speech, and your actions naturally align with it. You may find yourself taking bold steps you once avoided, reaching out to potential partners, or pursuing ideas with confidence rather than hesitation. Faith removes the mental blocks that keep you from seeing and seizing opportunities. This alignment with divine opportunities and unexpected channels of income is not something you have to force. It unfolds naturally when your inner belief and outer words are in harmony. The combination of conviction and declaration sends a clear, consistent message to the universe. This is who I am, this is what I expect, and this is what I receive. And because the spiritual law of supply responds to clarity and certainty, the opportunities and channels will appear, sometimes slowly and subtly, other times suddenly and dramatically, but always right on time. Speaking lack invites lack. Speaking wealth invites wealth, because your words act as invitations to the very conditions you describe. Every sentence you utter sends out a signal, and the universe responds by sending you more of the same. This is not merely a poetic idea, it is a spiritual and psychological law. When you repeatedly speak of what you do not have, you reinforce the vibration of scarcity in your mind and environment. That vibration then draws experiences, people, and situations that match it. In contrast, when you speak wealth, you shift your inner state to one of abundance, which attracts opportunities, resources, and blessings in alignment with that prosperity. Many people do not realize how often they speak lack in casual conversation. They say, I can't afford it. Money is tight. Nothing ever works out for me. Or, I'm always broke. Even if these words are spoken lightly or as a joke, the subconscious mind does not take them lightly. It hears them as commands and begins shaping your reality to match. Over time, these negative verbal patterns become self-fulfilling prophecies. They influence your decisions, your expectations, and even the opportunities you are able to recognize. In essence, you talk yourself out of abundance before it has a chance to arrive. Speaking wealth works in the opposite way. When you declare, "I always have more than enough. Money flows to me from multiple sources," or "I am surrounded by endless opportunities," you send out a signal of expectancy. You are telling your subconscious mind and the spiritual law of supply that abundance is your reality. The subconscious then goes to work aligning your thoughts, actions, and external circumstances with that spoken truth. Even if your current bank balance does not reflect those words yet, speaking them consistently plants the seeds for change. The outer world always catches up to the inner conviction when you remain steady in your declarations. It is important to understand that speaking wealth is not about pretending or denying your current situation. It is about choosing the higher truth over the temporary appearance. You may acknowledge your present condition without making it your permanent story. For example, instead of saying, "I'm drowning in debt," you could say, "I am in the process of becoming financially free." The first statement locks you into lack, while the second invites wealth by affirming movement toward abundance. The words you choose create the framework for what is possible in your life. The law behind this is the same law that governs a tuning fork. When you strike a tuning fork at a certain frequency, it will cause other objects of the same frequency to vibrate in harmony. Your words are like that tuning fork. Speak lack, and you vibrate with scarcity, calling in more of it. Speak wealth, and you vibrate with prosperity, drawing it toward you. This is why it is essential to become conscious of your language. Every statement is either an invitation to more lack or a welcome mat for more abundance. The change begins with awareness. Listen to your own speech throughout the day. Notice when you describe your financial life in limiting terms. Each time you catch yourself, pause and replace the statement with one that reflects abundance. This may feel awkward at first because you are building a new habit, but over time it will become natural. Eventually, your default mode of speaking will align with prosperity, and the results will follow. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to speak wealth. When you express thankfulness for the money, resources, and opportunities you already have, you affirm to the universe that you are ready for more. Saying, "I am grateful for the abundance already present in my life," invites additional blessings. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already working, and that shift in focus magnetizes more of the same. It is also important to speak wealth in all areas of life, not just in reference to money. If you talk about your health, relationships, or career in terms of lack, you invite that lack into those areas as well. But when you speak abundance in every domain, you create a unified vibration of prosperity. This holistic approach strengthens the overall signal you send to the world, making your wealth declarations even more effective. Speaking wealth also builds confidence and changes the way you carry yourself. When you speak from abundance, your posture, tone, and energy shift. Others sense this shift and respond accordingly. People are drawn to those who exude confidence and optimism. Opportunities often come through connections with others, and your abundant language can open doors by attracting the right people into your life. The more you practice speaking wealth, the less room there will be for lack in your vocabulary or your reality. This practice creates a mental environment where prosperity is not just a hope, but an expectation. As you continue to choose words that affirm your abundance, you will notice subtle changes. Small financial wins, unexpected gifts, or chance encounters that lead to new income streams. These are the early signs that your words are reshaping your life from the inside out. Consistent, daily affirmations build an unshakable prosperity consciousness because repetition is the key to reprogramming the mind. The subconscious mind operates on patterns, and those patterns are formed by the thoughts and words you feed it day after day. If you want to create a deep, unmovable belief in abundance, you must continually impress that idea upon your inner self until it becomes your natural way of thinking and speaking. This is why a single positive statement made once will not shift your reality, but a positive statement made consistently every day, with faith and feeling, will eventually overwrite old patterns of lack and limitation. Daily affirmations are like watering a plant. You would not pour water on a seed one time and expect it to grow into a strong, healthy tree. In the same way, you cannot speak words of abundance once in a while and expect lasting results. The mind needs steady nourishment to grow a new belief system. Each time you affirm your prosperity, you strengthen the roots of that belief in your subconscious. Over time, these roots grow so deep that they cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks or appearances of lack. You develop a prosperity consciousness that remains stable and confident regardless of external circumstances. This unshakable mindset is important because life will present challenges. There may be moments when the flow of money slows down or when unexpected expenses arise. Without a solid prosperity consciousness, it is easy to fall back into fear and speak words of lack, which only reinforce the problem. But when your mind has been trained through consistent affirmations, you respond differently. Instead of panicking, you hold fast to your declarations. God is my instant and endless supply. All my needs are met abundantly. Money comes to me easily and frequently. These words keep you anchored in faith until the tide turns again. Consistency also builds momentum. In the beginning, daily affirmations may feel like effort, especially if they contradict your current reality. But as you continue, they begin to feel natural and even automatic. You start to think in terms of abundance without having to force it. This mental shift is powerful because it changes not only how you speak but also how you act. A person with prosperity consciousness makes decisions based on faith in supply, not fear of lack. They pursue opportunities with confidence, invest in themselves without hesitation, and remain open to new channels of income. The key to effective affirmations is not just the words, but the feeling behind them. Saying, "I am wealthy," with doubt or indifference will not yield the same results as saying it with conviction, joy, and gratitude. Emotion gives your words energy, and that energy imprints the subconscious more deeply. This is why it can be helpful to visualize while you affirm. As you declare your prosperity, picture yourself living in abundance, seeing the results already manifested, and feeling the emotions of gratitude and satisfaction. The mind responds to vivid, sensory, rich experiences as though they are real, so combining affirmations with visualization accelerates the process. Another benefit of daily affirmations is that they crowd out negative self-talk. The average person has thousands of thoughts each day, many of them unconscious, and many rooted in limitation. When you intentionally speak positive affirmations daily, you interrupt that negative flow and replace it with constructive, empowering language. Over time, the old negative patterns lose their grip because they are no longer being reinforced. Your inner dialogue becomes more encouraging, and you begin to see yourself as someone who naturally attracts wealth. Affirmations also act as a compass for your attention. Whatever you consistently declare becomes what you focus on, and what you focus on expands. If you say every day, "Opportunities are all around me," you will become more aware of possibilities in your environment. If you affirm, "Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways," you will start noticing unexpected blessings and sources of income. This shift in focus allows you to see and seize opportunities that might have gone unnoticed before. Daily repetition also builds spiritual discipline. Setting aside time each morning or evening to speak your affirmations is a way of signaling to yourself and to the universe that you are committed to your prosperity. This practice becomes a sacred ritual, a moment when you align your thoughts, feelings, and words with the law of supply. Over time, this alignment becomes your default state, and you carry that energy with you into every situation. As your prosperity consciousness strengthens, you will notice that your outer world begins to match your inner beliefs. Financial opportunities appear more frequently, resources flow more easily, and challenges are resolved more quickly. What once felt like struggle now feels like a natural unfolding of good. This is the result of planting the seed of abundance in your mind every single day and nurturing it until it becomes an unshakable part of who you are. When your words and your faith agree, money flows in ways beyond human reasoning because the alignment of belief and speech creates a clear, powerful signal to the universe. Words are the outer expression of your thoughts, and faith is the inner conviction that those words are true. When both match, there is no inner conflict, no mixed vibration, and no doubt to weaken the creative process. You become like a finely tuned instrument, resonating perfectly with the frequency of abundance. This perfect resonance draws resources, opportunities, and ideas to you in ways that can seem almost magical to the human mind. When there is a mismatch between what you say and what you believe, the subconscious receives conflicting instructions. For example, you might declare, "I am wealthy." But inside you are thinking, "That's not true, I'm struggling right now." The subconscious does not know which to act on, so the results are diluted or inconsistent. But when your spoken words are backed by unwavering faith, the subconscious receives a single, powerful message, and it works relentlessly to bring it to pass. The universe responds to clarity and conviction, not to half-hearted or contradictory requests. Faith is what gives your words their authority. Without faith, affirmations are like seeds scattered on dry, rocky soil. They may never take root, but with faith, those same words become seeds planted in rich, fertile ground, where they sprout quickly and grow strong. Faith adds life to your declarations. It is the invisible force that activates the creative law. When you speak prosperity with conviction, you are not just hoping for a change. You are declaring a reality that already exists in the unseen and calling it into form. This alignment of words and faith also changes your emotional state, which plays a crucial role in manifestation. When you truly believe in what you say, you speak with joy, gratitude, and expectation. Those emotions carry a high vibration, and the law of attraction ensures that you receive more experiences to match them. People, circumstances, and opportunities that resonate with your confident energy begin to appear, often in ways you could not have planned. The path to your goal may not follow a logical, step-by-step process, but it will unfold in perfect order according to spiritual law. When words and faith work together, you also become more receptive to inspired ideas. You might wake up with a sudden insight about how to solve a financial problem, think of a business concept that excites you, or feel drawn to take a particular action that leads to profit. These inner nudges are part of the divine flow. Because your words and faith are in harmony, you are tuned in to guidance from a higher source, and you trust yourself enough to act on it. Very often, these inspired ideas are the bridges between where you are and the prosperity you are calling in. One of the most remarkable effects of this alignment is the way it bypasses the usual limitations of time, logic, and personal resources. Human reasoning might say that you need years to accumulate wealth, or that certain opportunities are closed to you because of your current circumstances. But spiritual law is not bound by those limitations. When you speak in faith, you are aligning with the source of all supply, which can deliver through any channel, at any time. Money can come through unexpected refunds, generous gifts, sudden increases in business, or even entirely new income streams you had not considered. The how is not your concern. Your role is to hold the faith and speak the words that declare your abundance as already done. This principle is also why gratitude is such a powerful companion to faith-filled words. When you speak as though your prosperity is already here and genuinely feel thankful for it, you are combining two of the highest vibrations possible. Gratitude affirms that you have received, and faith affirms that you trust in the ongoing flow of supply. Together, they create a powerful magnet for more good. This is why many prosperity teachers advise speaking in the present tense. I am so thankful that money flows to me freely and constantly, rather than, I will be prosperous someday. The present tense aligns your words with the reality you believe in now, and faith makes that reality tangible. When your words and your faith are in harmony, your actions naturally align as well. You begin to make choices from a place of abundance rather than fear. You invest in your growth, take calculated risks, and follow through on ideas because you trust that the resources you need will appear. This forward movement creates momentum, and that momentum opens more doors. Others sense your confidence and are more willing to collaborate with or invest in you. Opportunities often arise not because you chase them, but because they are drawn to the energy you are projecting. The alignment of speech and belief is a spiritual law that works the same for all who apply it. The more you practice speaking only what you truly believe, and believing only what you truly want to experience, the stronger your results will become. With time, this alignment becomes second nature. You will no longer have to consciously correct your words or fight off doubt, because your mind and spirit will be trained to operate from a prosperity mindset. This is the state where money, resources, and blessings flow so naturally that others may call it luck. But you will know it is simply the law of words and faith working in perfect harmony.